Thanks for dropping in, kids.
Francis?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 DreamWorks villains.
Now this is what a true bad guy looks like.
For this list, we're paying tribute to the scoundrels of some of our favourite animated DreamWorks films and animated series. We could be villainous and not warn you about spoilers, but we feel more like heroes. So there will be spoilers ahead. Who was the meanest of the mean in DreamWorks animations? Let us know who your favourite villain is in the comments. Number 20, Donald Edward Don Lino, Shark Tale. Sharks are scary enough as it is, but what if they were part of the mafia?
I bring you in here, look you in the eye, tell you what's what, and what?
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 What? Nothing. You said what first?
I didn't say what first, I asked you what.
No, you said and then what, and I said what?
No, I said what? Like what?
Meet Don Lino, the leader of the Great White Sharks. He has a frightening influence over the reef. If you make Lino mad or disrespect him and his family, you may not live long enough to regret it. Unfortunately, his son Lenny is vegan and Lino won't stand for anything that makes his criminal empire appear weak. But when you look past his mobster lifestyle, Lino cares deeply for his family and is willing to change his ways for them.
I love you, son, no matter what you eat or how you dress.
The only one arguably scarier than Lino is the two-faced vixen Lola. Anyone else just get chills at the mention of her name?
You know, Shark Slayer, there's only one thing I like better than money. Revenge.
Number 19, Viggo Grimborn, DreamWorks Dragons. The TV series Dragons Race to the Edge introduced a new set of baddies to Berk. Perhaps most notable of them was the Dragon Hunters, led by Viggo Grimborn. While his brother Riker was the brawn of the hunters, Viggo was the brains. His knowledge of dragons rivaled even Hiccup's, and he was a master strategist who treated their squabbles with the riders like a game of chess.
In maces and talons, as in life, the line between good and evil is often unclear. Black and white can become grey so easily. What one soul considers evil, another might consider righteous.
His ultimate goal was to find the mythical Dragon Eye to further his practice of dragon poaching. However, compared to his former second-in-command Krogan, Viggo turned out to be lesser of the evils, and he proved this when he willingly joined forces with Hiccup to take on the bigger threat and gave his own life in the end.
Go. I'll hold them off until you're out.
No, I'm not gonna leave you.
Hiccup, you're more ruthless than you realize. I know you will defeat Krogan and Johan.
Number 18, Dave, aka Dr. Octavius Brine, Penguins of Madagascar.
Dave! Dave! Dave!
Dave?
Dave!
Dave.
Dave! Ah.
Let's face it, the Penguins are the breakout stars of the Madagascar franchise, so much so that they earned their own spin-off film and Nickelodeon series. But one bitter cephalopod wasn't so impressed by their cute and cuddly act, Dave the Octopus. He was the star of the Central Park Zoo before the Penguins came around and stole his spotlight. Neglected and heartbroken, Dave snapped and vowed vengeance on all of penguin kind, and he is well equipped with an army of octopuses, his human disguise, and some surprisingly clever celebrity name drops.
Charlize, they're on the ray! Helen, hunt them down! William, hurt them! Hallie, bury them! Hugh, Jack, man the battle stations! Kevin, bake on! We're still gonna need that victory cake!
Honestly, you can't help but feel bad for Dave, but he does get the attention he craves in the end. Just not quite how he imagined.
I hope you find happiness, Dave.
Number 17, Zekel Khan, The Road to El Dorado.
Good morning, my lords.
He's back.
As the High Priest of El Dorado, Zekel Khan has been eagerly awaiting the day the gods return so that he may purge the city of wickedness. Ironic, since he's the most wicked one out of all. He's charming and manipulative with an insatiable bloodlust and has access to dark magic, the likes of which the world should never know. And yet, despite all his cunning and mastery of the arcane arts, he was still easily fooled into believing that Tulio and Miguel are gods, and was outsmarted again in the end. Let this be a cautionary tale about extremist ideals and power-hungry leaders.
Men, seize him. There is no El Dorado here. Onward, men.
Number 16, Galaxar, Monsters vs. Aliens.
Who dares to wake me?
Not all great villains have to be deeply complex or tragic souls. Sometimes we just need a straightforward, tyrannical, hilarious baddie. It's safe to say that Galaxar brings us that and more.
There are innocent people down there who didn't do anything!
There were innocent people on my home planet before it was destroyed.
Look, I'm sorry your planet was destroyed.
Oh, don't be. I'm the one who destroyed it.
He destroyed his own planet for no real reason, and now he aims to take over Earth and repopulate it, once he gets his Quantonium back from Susan, that is. What really intrigues us about Galaxar is how he never clearly says why he does all of this. Whatever backstory he has is purposely and humorously kept vague, so we can only theorize as to what drove him to become such a ruthless psychopath. It seems that's one story he'll take to his grave. Number 15, the Toad, flushed away. In his youth, Toad had a good life at Buckingham Palace, but when his owner grew more attached to a rat, Toad's happiness was literally sent down the drain. Heartbroken and abandoned, Toad recruits his hench rats, Spike, Whitey and his cousin, Le Frog, to aid him along in his plans to washing away all the rodents in the sewer.
You find my pain funny?
I find everyone's pain funny but my own. I'm French.
It's hard not to sympathise with his backstory. How would you like it if you were someone's pet and they just tossed you away? Plus, it's too much fun watching him shift from a sophisticated crime lord to a warty madman. Fortunately, the rats he sought to eliminate end up beating him with his own amphibious tendencies and a little liquid nitrogen.
Feeling a little tongue-tied?
Impossible!
Number 14, Rumpelstiltskin, Shrek Forever After.
You signed it.
So, tell me, what happens now?
Have a nice day.
Making a deal with the devil is bad, but making one with Rumpelstiltskin is even worse. While he's not magically gifted himself, he has access to magical contracts that can make all of your dreams come true, but not without a catch. That might just include your entire kingdom or the very day you were born.
You took the day I was born.
No, Shrek. You gave it to me.
Rumpel may be short and irritable, but he is a diabolical master of manipulation, and he'll use every trick at his disposal to take over the kingdom of Far, Far Away. Unfortunately for him, he scammed the wrong ogre and pays the price for his deceit. Hey, at least he made it out alive. We can't say the same for some of the other Shrek villains. Number 13, General Kai the Collector, Kung Fu Panda 3.
Kai, old friend.
Master Oogway.
Our battle ended 500 years ago.
Well, now I'm ready for a rematch.
Took you long enough.
Once upon a time, Kai was brother-in-arms with Master Oogway, and the two were world-renowned warriors in China. However, Kai was tempted by the dark side and became obsessed with stealing chi from others, prompting Oogway to banish him to the spirit realm temporarily.
Don't worry, little birdie. I'll put your chi to good use.
destroying the Jade Palace and everyone in it.
Along with being a ruthless fighter, Kai can use the chi he steals to create jade zombie-like minions, turning those he defeats into his own soldiers for combat. He won't stop until he's swiped every Kung Fu master's chi to fully empower himself and extinguish Oogway's legacy for his betrayal. Unfortunately for Kai, his hunger for chi ends up being his undoing, as Po gives him way more than he can handle.
Wait, no, it's too much. That's too much. No!
Number 12, Grimmel the Grizzly, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World.
My dear warlords, how go your plans to conquer the world?
It's been said that Hiccup and Grimmel the Grizzly are perfect opposites. While Hiccup chose to befriend a dragon, Grimmel became obsessed with the idea of wiping out dragons completely.
You wish dragons to live free among us, like equals? A toxic notion, my boy. History has shown that we are the superior species.
So, how dangerous is he, you might ask? He's a ruthless hunter and a master manipulator who can control dragons using their own venom. To offer some perspective, he's the reason Toothless is the very last Night Fury in the world. Even though Grimmel perished in the end, he still sort of won. Hiccup realises that dragons will never be safe in the human world and sets them free so they can live in the hidden world, meaning that technically Grimmel somewhat got what he wanted, a dragon-free world. Number 11, Drago Bloodfist, How to Train Your Dragon 2. He who controls the dragon controls the land. That's the twisted philosophy of Drago Bloodfist, the self-proclaimed dragon god.
He's only the son of Stoic the Vast, his heir to the throne of Berk, and the greatest dragon master this world has ever seen.
Dragon Master. I alone control the dragons.
Even though he lost his family to dragons, Drago rose above his fear and became a bloodthirsty tyrant hell-bent on enslaving both human and dragon kind. His brute strength is unquestionable. He's even managed to tame a massive bewilderbeast, who he uses to enslave other dragons in his ever-growing army.
No dragon can resist the Alpha's command. So he who controls the Alpha controls them all.
Sure, men laughed at his insane ramblings, but they were quick to pay the price for standing in his way. Even after his defeat, those who were truly loyal to him vowed to continue his beastly endeavours, further cementing the gruesome legacy Drago built for himself. Number 10, Tai Lung Kung Fu Panda. Abandoned as a cub, Tai Lung was taken in by Shifu and raised as a master martial artist and possibly the next dragon warrior. However, when he wasn't chosen, he went on a rampage and became hell-bent on taking the role he felt was his, even if it meant doing so by force.
We're not meant to be the dragon warrior. That was not my fault.
Not your fault? Who filled my head with dreams? Who drove me to train until my bones cracked? Who denied me my destiny?
He may have overreacted a bit, but can you blame him? Shifu became the only father Tai Lung ever had. He built up his hopes for achieving greatness, or for them to be ripped from under him in the end. He could only be stopped by the true dragon warrior though, so if one thing's for sure, it's that Shifu is one heck of a teacher.
Skadoosh.
Number 9, Eris, Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas.
So where were we? Oh yes, you were holding your breath.
Kicking off this list is the ultimate femme fatale. Eris is the goddess of discord, and she takes great pleasure in her job, plunging the world into glorious chaos. In addition to being deviously beautiful, she has the omnipotent power to change her form and size as she pleases, as well as an army of monsters born from the constellations.
How dare you! Everything was going perfectly, and now you do this!
Despite her unlimited power and deceitful trickery, she does have one glaring weakness. She cannot break any promises she makes. They're literally embedded into her.
Sinbad, when a goddess gives her word, she's bound for all eternity.
Despite this, even if she does get outsmarted, she'll just brush it off and move on with her never-ending task of making the world crumble into chaos.
And lucky for you, I've got places to go, things to destroy, stuff to steal.
Number 8, Militia and Willard Tweedy. Chicken Run.
This will take Tweedy's farm out of the Dark Ages and into full-scale automated production.
This unhappy couple managed to turn a chicken farm into a prison camp. While Mr. Tweedy's more of a right-hand stooge, he makes sure that none of the inmates escape, and is the only one of the two to suspect that the chickens are smarter than they look. His wife, on the other hand, is the brains of the operation, wanting nothing more than to make a profit off their useless birds, even through malicious, deadly means like cooking their prisoners into pies.
What is it?
It's a pie machine, you idiot. Chickens go in, pies come out.
Fortunately, she underestimates the birds, and she pays the price for it.
It's chickens, you dolt! Apart from you, they're the most stupid creatures on this planet.
Her scheme literally blows up in the farmers' faces, leaving them rightfully chickenless and penniless.
I told you they was organized.
Number 7, Hal Stewart's aka Titan, Megamind.
If I were Metro Man, Megamind wouldn't be kidnapping you all the time. That's the first thing.
Hal Stewart was just a nerdy cameraman looking for love that was out of his league. However, when Megamind needed a new arch nemesis to do battle with, he ended up bestowing incredible superpowers to Hal and secretly trying to mold him into the ultimate superhero.
You've been blessed with unfathomable power.
What kind of power?
Unfathomable. It's without fathom.
Unfortunately, when Hal couldn't get the girl of his dreams, he decided that being a villain was more of his vocation and began using his newfound might to conquer the city.
You're supposed to be with me!
I'm trying to warn you.
Hal? It's Titan! It's Titan, not Hal!
Even though Megamind was the villain of his own story, he ended up creating an even worse threat, showing that you really have to be careful who you entrust with super abilities, especially the geeky types.
Please don't do this. I know there's still good in you, Hal.
You're so naive, Roxy. You see the good in everybody, even when it's not there.
Number 6, Captain Chantal Dubois. Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted. Captain Dubois was the best animal control officer Monaco had to offer, and she delighted in hunting beasts down and collecting trophies. So when she was offered a chance to hunt down Alex the lion and mount his head on her wall, she brought her A-game.
The pinnacle of my career, to hunt the king of the beasts.
She's pretty much insane, but she is also the ultimate hunter, armed with hunting tools of every kind, a dog-like sense of smell, cat-like reflexes, and a singing voice that can heal her lackeys miraculously.
Ça commence avec toi.
Unfortunately for her, our favourite vagabonds brought an end to her perfect catch streak, and she was last seen being shipped off to Madagascar. Ironic, since that's where the gang ended up in the first movie. Number 5, Ramesses II, the Prince of Egypt.
I do not know this god. Neither will I let your people go.
The conflict between Moses and the pharaoh is a tale as old as time. However, in The Prince of Egypt, Pharaoh Ramesses II isn't really evil. In fact, he and Moses were actually best friends and adoptive brothers, even though Moses usually got Ramesses into trouble.
You almost killed me!
Oh, come on! Where's your sense of fun?
Oh, it's fun you want!
When Ramesses is crowned as the pharaoh, the weight of his responsibility gets to him. He is determined to build a great legacy for himself, no matter how many Hebrew slaves he works to the bone. Unfortunately, his reign ends in tragedy. He loses his firstborn son to Moses' plagues, and his stubbornness drives away his childhood friend, leaving him with no real family to comfort him when he needs it the most. Number 4, Pitch Black, Rise of the Guardians.
Don't look at me like that, old friend. You must have known this day would come. My nightmares are finally ready. Are your guardians?
While the Guardians' goal is to bring joy to the world, one terrifying obstacle stands in their way: the boogeyman himself, Pitch Black. Embittered by nobody believing in him, Pitch relishes in turning children's dreams into nightmares. He's hell-bent on plunging the world into darkness and making sure the Guardians are forgotten, leaving them powerless to stop him.
Why are you doing this?
Maybe I want what you have. To be believed in.
Being a master manipulator, he knows everyone's deepest fears and delights in torturing them psychologically.
You have a bad habit of interfering. Now hand it over, and I'll let her go.
It's hard to tell when he's being genuine or when he's lying through his pointed teeth. He's that good. However, despite his sadistic, cunning ways, there was one thing Pitch didn't count on: being betrayed by his own fears.
Looks like it's your fear they smell. What?
Number 3, Fairy Godmother, Shrek 2.
Oh, Sweet Pea, I'm your fairy godmother.
I have a fairy godmother?
Shush.
Many remember the story of the fairy godmother, using her benevolent magic to give princesses their happily ever after. In reality though, she's a prejudiced, corrupt businesswoman with her own agenda: to have Princess Fiona marry her pretty boy son, Prince Charming, so that she can rule over the kingdom of far, far away.
Oh, believe me, Harold, it's what's best. Not only for your daughter.
She's got no qualms playing mind games with Shrek, trying to ruin his and Fiona's marriage to make it happen, since she firmly believes that ogres can't live happily ever after. She might have succeeded too, if it weren't for Shrek and Fiona's love, and a backfired spell.
I told you, ogres don't live happily ever after! Harold!
Unfortunately though, for the happy couple, Prince Charming isn't taking his mother's death and being robbed of his happily ever after lightly.
And I promise you this, Mother. I will restore dignity to my throne.
Number 2, Lord Farquaad, Shrek.
I will make this Princess Fiona my queen, and Yulok will finally have the perfect king.
Sadly, our runner-up just fell short of being number 1. But don't think little of Farquaad, because he has a massive ego, an iron-fisted rule over his kingdom, and a xenophobic version of a perfect world without fairy tale creatures. There is no dirty deed he won't stoop to.
Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man!
You're a monster!
Ironically, despite his perfectionism, he is blind to his own literal shortcomings, which really makes him an entertaining tyrant you love to hate. Unfortunately for him, Farquaad meets his demise at the hands of the fairy tale trash he wished to dispose of.
I will have order! I will have perfection! I will have...
Before we we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Colonel George Armstrong Custer, Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. His role may have been small, but he learned the hard way not to try breaking spirits.
Soldier! Secure that horse!
The Royal Chef of Bergen Town, Trolls. She's got an appetite for trolls and ambitions for glory.
With me in charge, I'll serve you troll every day of the year. With me as queen, all of life will be a never-ending feast of happiness.
General Mandible, Ants. Only the strong survive, and everyone is expendable.
Cutter! What are you doing? Something I should have done a long time ago. This is for the good of the colony, sir.
You useless, ungrateful maggot!
Lord Victor Quatermain, Wallace and Gromit, the curse of the were-rabbits. An intimidator, a hunter, and a con man. Everything Wallace is not.
There's no nonsense with Victor Quatermain. What you see is what you get. What the...
Professor P.P. Diarrhea-Steen Poopy Pants Esquire. Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. He could have been the world's most brilliant scientist if it wasn't for his silly name.
Am I pronouncing it right? Poopy Pants.
More or less, except the emphasis is on the poop. Why are you laughing?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Lord Shen, Kung Fu Panda 2.
Oh, it's your parting gift, in that it will part you. Part of you here, part of you there, and part of you way over there, staining the wall.
We still give credit to Tai Lung for his tragic backstory, but we have to give it up to this devilish peacock.
The only reason you're still alive is that I find your stupidity mildly amusing.
Even though it meant being disowned by his family, Shen managed to weaponize fireworks and assemble an entire army of wolves with a mission to wipe out Kung Fu forever. What really brings him to the top is his personal connection to our favourite dragon warrior, Po.
You were there? Yes, I was.
Shen was the reason Po became an orphan, and he committed mass genocide on other pandas without a single regret. Despite this, Po was able to defeat this paranoid peacock by finding inner peace with his past, something Shen was never able to achieve.
I scarred you for life.
See, that's the thing, Shen. Scars heal.
No, they don't.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.